Okay, it's Sunday, and I said I would have an update with the Hotbox Liu, and it is pretty much done at this point. This is the very first prototype, but the design itself is complete. This is the back side. This seam will not be here on the final. This will just be one sheet that goes around, but it will have this roughly 1-inch lip around. This is the center that we've already seen before, which is it's normally for water to air, but I don't care about what it's for, and I'm using it for oil to water instead. On the front, right now I still have, because it's two heat exchangers, there's still 2 ins and outs. I'm trying to source a actual manufacturer of these to see if we can have it instead just run up here, come straight up and out. That would be really awesome, so I don't have these really pesky unsightly and too many connections. But ultimately, water would come in on this side, run through the heat exchangers, come out this way and back to whatever else. None of the oil ever leaves the tank in this. And this is enough space on each side for 3 S19s or S17s with a spacer that I'm making. So it'll fit that. Anything else? I really don't know. I haven't tested. Someday I'll get that. So that's the Hotbox Liu. Liu is 6 in Chinese, just in case you were wondering. Hotbox Duo. This was actually been done for a little while, but I just kind of came back to it. This one will fit 2 S19s laying flat. So what this is, there'll be the same heat exchanger just like this, but only one, and it'll be laying flat against the bottom with the ins and outs coming off to the side. Again, hopefully I'll have one manufactured, and instead of coming off through the wall at the bottom, it will actually come up all the way to the top. This tank also is the same design where the oil will never leave the tank. There are no pumps. It will be using hopefully my designed fan, or if you will call it an impeller, because it's not really a fan anymore since it's not blowing air. But the miner itself will actually control the rate of oil flow. Total width is about 2 feet. It's not quite, maybe 23 inches. And then the height is really not all that much. But yeah, so the heat exchange is roughly, this tall, and then an S19 would fit right onto there. And then the oil would just flow through one way, hit the curved wall, be forced through the radiator, back around. And finally, this one is completely and totally untested, and I don't even know if it'll work. So, Hotbox Solo. This is a 100% standalone unit. Just using it's actually an air-to-air heat exchange, or intercooler, basically, or something from, it's for car stuff, racing, something like that. It's all solid aluminum, so I could just weld it in straight to all the rest of this aluminum. But in this case, there'll actually be one S19 or S17 upright in this area, and the concept is the same. It will push through, force it through this way, back around again, and then there will be a fan on the back side, a much larger fan. This is about 13-ish inches tall, so about a 12-inch fan, much lower speed, being able to blow air through there and exhausting that way. It'll stand up off the ground a little bit, and so air can come in from the bottom and from the top and go out. There will of course be covers on this, cover on that, and also, if desired, a lid all the way around that one to keep dust and everything out. But yeah, again, same design, this curved flow forcing the oil to go through. It can still circulate around and over, so if there's not enough flow through this, it won't be a problem to actually it'll just kind of go around and slush around. We'll see. It's very experimental. No guarantees. I may end up scrapping it and saying like, well, that was a big mistake, but I got to try it because why not? If it works, it's going to be super awesome. This one should definitely work just because I've already tested that. It's basically 1/3 of a Hotbox Liu. The design is exactly the same. The flow is the same. The radiator is the same. So I'm 99% sure that the Hotbox Duo will work just fine. One thing about the Duo that is different than the Liu is that you could, since it's just flat, you could put 4 S9s in here. You could put What's Miners in here, as long as it'll fit end to end. Anything that would fit flat and I want to say it's 8 inches, maybe roughly. I'll have to measure it out. But it's not; these are not absolutely fit for only S19s or S17s. This is just a general one. You could have 1 miner in here flowing through. You could have 4 S9s. You could have 2 S19s. Same thing with the Solo. You could stack 2 S9s top to bottom on here, get the same results. You could throw a What's Miner in there. Really, you could throw anything in there, but it will require a spacer to kind of force that oil flow through. So for right now, I'm just really making them for S19s at this point, until we actually get them into production, and then I can start making spacers. So that's the big reveal. All 3 of them together. They're really not that large. Hold on a second. Should have done this before. Because I know it's kind of hard to tell sometimes for a point of reference. There is an S19. So you can kind of see about how it fits in there, what the actual sizes are. It's not terribly huge. One person can easily lift the Duo or Solo. The Liu, it's going to take some more effort to lift it up. It's not particularly heavy if it's made out of aluminum, but it is quite large, or for one single person to lift up and lift around. It's about, let's go grab a tape measure and find out. So we got 26 inches deep, or 660 millimeters, 66 centimeters. Sorry, my metric is terrible because I live in the US and we got a silly measuring system. 31 inches. That's gonna drive me nuts having that upside down, sorry. There we go. So less than 32 inches, 80 centimeters. Same here, under 27 inches, about 26 and a quarter, 67 centimeters. Plus a little bit extra for this little crap out. Not too bad. And then height, you got 20 inches or 51 centimeters. Hotbox Duo, find out. Yep, 23 inches from side to side. Yeah, I'm just going to estimate this. And it's about 26 inches. So you can see it's really not too huge. Solo is only 2 feet. And then height is really not that bad. 14 inches. That's it. Hope you enjoy. The Hotbox Liu is going to go into production ASAP, Q1 2022. Hopefully very, very early. We've got manufacturing lined up. We're just trying to source a couple last things, specifically heat exchangers. With all the global shortages and stuff, it's just really silly to try and find anything in stock and continuous supply. If you have any questions, feel free to email sales@coinheated.com. Thanks.